up today, but tomorrow we have widespread rain in the forecast. We're trending a little drier for Saturday, but it'll still affect your weekend plans. I'll show you the timing.
Marching on Raleigh, teachers from across the state will be at the Capitol today calling for change. We have team coverage of this morning's preparation for the rally. Bus destroyed. 6 students and the driver hurt when a school bus hits a low bridge. An update this morning on their conditions after this very scary crash. We are following those stories and more. WRAL News at 8 starts in 30 seconds.
At Leith Honda in Raleigh and Auto Park Honda in Cary, we make your buying process easy. And with every new car purchase, you'll enjoy complimentary oil changes and exceptional service. It's no wonder we've earned so many 5-star reviews. You'll also get peace of mind pricing with every used vehicle, and if it's not the perfect fit, no problem. Bring it back within 3 days for an easy exchange. Visit our showroom at Auto Park Honda in Cary or Leith Honda in Raleigh. It's easier here.
Your #1 source for local news. This is WRAL, coverage you can count on.
Good morning. The time is 8 a.m. here on your Friday. We thanks for you for joining us. I'm Laura Levine.
And I'm Ken Smith. Yes, we always appreciate your time. So with the situation being that we need this rain possibly coming in tomorrow, let's go over to meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center tracking it all for us.
We have these isolated showers that have started to pop up in our southern counties, especially back here to the southwest. So some rain falling right now down here in near Sanford and back over towards Southern Pines, right here in Moore County, Dunn, Sanford. So looking at Johnston County, Harnett County, Lee County, even Chatham County, with a few isolated showers out there this morning. We look ahead to tomorrow, and it's likely to be widespread. What we see this morning, just isolated and mostly in the south. But everybody will see some rain tomorrow. The question is how much. It looks like a low may move a little farther offshore, bringing us less in terms of the rain gauges, but we'll talk more about what you could see coming up. Lots of cloud cover this morning, 52 degrees in Durham with a northeast wind, keeping things cool for today. We're in the 40s up near the Virginia line and mid-50s down south, low 50s in the Triangle. We'll only climb into the upper 60s for this afternoon with more and more cloud cover and again some stray showers, a few sprinkles, especially in our southern counties. Again, better chance for rain on Saturday. I think most of us will see it, but a lot of it may be light. I'll show you how that could affect the totals coming up. Ken?
All right, Elizabeth, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. That crash we've been following on I-85 in the northbound lanes cleared, but we're still seeing some lingering delays in the area between North Cornwallis Road and Highway 86. So if you're coming from Hillsborough this morning, depending on where you are, if you're in a rush because of these lingering delays, you might want to take Highway 96 or even Highway 70 as alternate routes. Let's bring it back to Wake County, give you a live look at I-40 and Lake Wheeler Road. You can see the westbound lanes moving away from us this morning. Boy, looks great on that southern loop of the Beltline. You're just looking at a 1-minute delay and all up and down I-40 westbound this morning. You're coming in from Garner, Johnston County, completely delay-free, especially if you're navigating I-40 westbound through Wade Avenue as well. Similarly, that northern loop of the Beltline, traffic flowing at a nice steady clip. Those are the westbound lanes moving away from us as we widen out the view. You can see exactly what we're talking about in terms of that section of the Beltline from the I-40, 87 interchange all the way over to Wade Avenue, just a 1-minute delay. And really, that's what we're seeing on all of our major routes this morning, whether you're coming from Knightdale, you're coming from Wake Forest, just a 3-minute delay. Wherever you're going this morning, you'll get there on time. You're getting ready to head into the car. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Ken, thank you. Well, happening today, thousands of educators from across North Carolina will be in Raleigh today to rally for teacher pay. Later this morning, they'll be gathering at Halifax Mall ahead of an expected march around the state capitol. You're looking at video from the last time we saw a statewide demonstration like this here in Raleigh. This was back in 2019. You can see thousands of people dressed in red marching through the streets. Meanwhile, many school districts across our area are closed today because of this rally. Wake, Durham, and Cumberland counties are among the districts that will not have in-person classes today. Wake County year-round schools will be on remote learning. We have team coverage now ahead of today's rally. Let's begin with WRAL's Kirsten Clark with a look at what we can expect to hear from educators. Kirsten.
Yes, Laura, we're at Halifax Mall right now, and we're actually seeing several educators starting to come in and show up this morning. I'll take a step out of the way so you can see. We've got a pretty large group gathering here. You can see them in these neon green shirts, some of them wearing red, and we're already hearing them starting to chant, preparing for the march and rally today. And this is only the start. They're expecting more people to fill in later to voice their concerns and to hear from speakers, all with one message: put kids first. A report from the National Education Association ranks North Carolina 43rd in average teacher pay and 38th in starting teacher pay. Without a raise, teacher pay is projected to fall to 46th this year. The North Carolina Association of Educators said the rally will advocate for increased funding for public schools, accountability for voucher spending, and an end to policies prioritizing tax cuts over students. This rally comes just weeks after the state Supreme Court threw out the multi-billion-dollar Leandro plan designed to improve public schools. And I spoke with a parent today who has 2 students in Wake County Public Schools and says she needs to be here to advocate for their education.
The overload of the workload and the amount of students in one classroom also affects. So if we had better teachers and we have better pay, we have more educators trying to go into that field instead of trying to leave the field just because of the pay.
Yeah, so taking a look at the other side, and in response to all of this, a spokesperson for Republican House Speaker Destin Hall noted the House's proposed budget includes significant raises for teachers. So we, of course, will be out here all morning, keeping you updated as this all unfolds. Live in Raleigh, Kirsten Clark, WRAL News.
Well, around noon today, the teachers will begin marching around downtown Raleigh. The route will take them from Halifax Mall down Wilmington Street, then around the Capitol building, and then back on North Salisbury Street. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey is live in Raleigh this morning. Kelsey, you spoke with a teacher struggling to make ends meet.
Ken, I did. In just a few hours, we're expecting to see hundreds, if not thousands, of teachers marching along the streets of downtown Raleigh here, calling for changes to their pay. We spoke with a Johnson County teacher who says he feels undervalued. North Carolina does not offer master's pay for teachers who earn their degrees after 2013. Republican leaders got rid of the pay bump, saying master's degrees don't improve student outcomes. Since then, House leadership has proposed bringing it back for teachers whose master's degrees are in the subject they teach. Stetson Glass is a 10th grade English teacher with a master's degree.
Teachers are doing what they should be doing. We're getting the education that we should be getting. We are fulfilling the requirements that are asked of us, and yet we're not being compensated for fairly.
Now, Glass says that he has 6 kids at home, and between the increased cost of living that's been happening in recent years, plus the lack of compensation, he says that it's very difficult for him and his wife to pay the bills. So that's why he'll be here in downtown Raleigh today for both the march and the rally. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
Well, keep in mind, our team of reporters will be in downtown Raleigh throughout the day covering the rally and the march. You can check for updates on air on WRAL.com and through the WRAL News Plus.
Part of a Moore County road was shut down overnight because a train hit and killed someone, according to police. This happened in Pinehurst at NC Highway 5 near Morganton Road just before 8:30 p.m. Police officers say the person killed was a pedestrian and that they died at the scene. The identity of that person has not been released.
6 students are recovering at home this morning after being treated at the hospital following this bus crash. This was seen yesterday afternoon in Goldsboro. The bus crashed and it was trying to go under a bridge at Carolina and Vine Streets. A total of 9 students from Dillard Academy were on board that bus. An air ambulance flew the bus driver to the hospital. Well, signs near that bridge indicate the clearance is only 7 feet 6 inches. Neighbors say this is not the first time a vehicle crashed under that bridge. Warning signs are posted, but people we spoke with say they may not be enough and questions why the bus was on that route in the first place.
Maybe the bus driver was unaware that she couldn't fit under the railroad, and it probably could have been prevented had she would have known that was a red zone.
We're still trying to get an update on the condition of that bus driver, by the way. We've reached out to Wayne County and the city of Goldsboro to learn how many crashes have happened involving that bridge and would it be possible to improve the signage to prevent such an incident from happening again.
New this morning, Game 1 of the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs at Lenovo Center is set for tomorrow night at 8. The Canes will play the Philadelphia Flyers. There will be a pregame party in the plaza starting at 5. Game 2 will also be at Lenovo Center. The date and time of that game and the full schedule for the series haven't been released. The man accused of threatening to kill President Donald Trump is being held on a Secret Service detainer. Daniel Swain made his first court appearance yesterday. Swain is only formally charged of possession of meth, resisting a public officer, and driving with a fake license plate. But the more serious charges could be coming from a federal level. In court, here's what Swain said when he had a chance to speak.
I'm employed with the United States Army veteran of third generation. This is a little ridiculous, but that's about all.
This is a little ridiculous, he says. Swain's mom told WRAL he has mental health issues and PTSD. He was issued a $10,000 bond on the local charges, but because he's being held on a federal detainer, he would immediately be taken into custody if he posted it. Time now 8:10, expanding resources. Raleigh leaders are planning to make changes to the city's Acorns program. The growth and the way aimed at helping people dealing with mental health issues and homelessness.
Also, Ham and Yam Festival. It's that time again. The big event returning to Smithfield this weekend. We'll tell you about the fun happening there and all across our area in our Out and About coming up. Let's welcome back meteorologist Elizabeth Garten.
And we're welcoming in some showers, especially in our southern counties. I'll let you know if you'll see any of that rain this morning and how much you could see tomorrow. 8:13, and look at these little showers popping up, especially right here around the Sandhills. Those are all moving to the east, so Harnett County seeing some of that. A little bit in Chatham County, starting to move into Wake County, Johnston County. We're just going to watch these on and off during the morning and even into the middle of the afternoon. I don't think we're going to see very much actually showing up in the rain gauges. It's going to be pretty light and patchy with a 20% chance, and the bulk of that will be, say, from Durham southward. Big dark cloud there over Southern Pines, and the rain's actually coming down pretty steadily right now over at Longleaf Golf and Family Club. So I know they're happy to get some of that rain. It's cool out there too. 46 Roanoke Rapids, 52 in Durham, and 56 degrees in Fayetteville. If you're about to walk the dog, in most places we're dry. This afternoon, of course, we'll have an isolated shower or two. It stays cool with upper 60s. Still a good chance for rain on Saturday. We'll talk about some of the totals, which are looking a little lower, Ken.
All right, Elizabeth, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. So that crash I told you about on I-85 cleared about 45 minutes ago, right? So this area is cleared. We're still seeing a little bit of lingering delays near Highway 86. Now the jam session has moved over to Highway 70. Likely those are folks who are trying to avoid I-85. So to be clear, I-85 is free and clear right now, and you don't have anything to worry about. Similarly, this is indicative of what we're seeing in all of our major routes. Traffic flowing nicely in all directions.
Chris Lovingood here in the WRAL Live Center, where we're still hours away from that rally that's going to be happening at the state capitol here in Raleigh. But what I'm showing you right here is a recording of a bus that is in Pitt County, where teachers have been preparing to load onto the bus and, of course, head here to Raleigh, where they're going to be marching around the Capitol later today. But in terms of what they're going to be marching for, better pay and better funding. And when you hear the words better pay, what are we talking about? Well, in the House budget, again, that still has not been passed, we're talking about an average raise of 8.7% over 2 years. That is what that budget would give. And then the Senate budget would give an average raise of about 3.3% to teachers over 2 years. And then you have Governor Josh Stein, who has recently proposed an average raise of 5.8 over 2 years, which is obviously between the middle of those other ones. But each of these pales in comparison to what the NCAE, the North Carolina Association of Educators, is asking for. They're asking for 25% increases in pay for school employees, which would cost about $2.6 billion if the raise were the same for everyone. So we're going to be watching a little bit more in terms of all the different buses that are going to be headed here to Raleigh for this rally later today. Stay with WRAL News. We'll update you all day long.
Chris, thank you for that breakdown. Well, late last night, President Donald Trump signed a new bill that would reopen parts of the Department of Homeland Security. As you're taking a live look here at the White House this morning, Congress has passed a bill earlier in the day that would end the 75-day partial shutdown. TSA will be one of the agencies that will start receiving funding once again. However, some agencies were not part of that bill, including ICE and Border Patrol. Republicans will try to fund those agencies in a separate bill. Changes are being made and put in place in Wake County in an effort to improve public safety. The incoming district attorney wants to create a mental health court. In Raleigh's successful Acorns program is growing. The unit pairs Raleigh police with social workers to support people dealing with homelessness. Police Chief Rico Boy says the department is adding a veteran to that team. This is meant to better interact with the growing number of service members who are in this situation. He talked about a veteran who recently connected with the services on his birthday.
And we all felt good here in the Raleigh Police Department when we helped that veteran not only to get ID, that's something that's basic, but we also helped that veteran get housing, which is obviously a concern here in the city.
So the Acorns program began in 2022 and now serves a model for departments nationwide.
Investigators in western North Carolina are looking for the person who abandoned several cats along a highway. The Polk County Sheriff's Office posted this video online. According to deputies, at least 8 cats have been left in pet carriers along Highway 74. It started earlier this month. Abandoning animals is a Class 2 misdemeanor and could put you in jail. You know the music, lots of fun activities all across the area, dotting the calendar as we begin the month of May.
Yes, so let's take a look at WRAL's Out and About. Starting with this, the 40th annual Ham and Yam Festival gets underway in Smithfield tomorrow. The popular event is a celebration of agriculture in Johnston County. It features more than 200 vendors, booths, food, and games. The fun gets started in downtown Smithfield tomorrow at 8 a.m. and runs until 10 p.m. WRAL, a proud community partner of that event, Ken.
Yeah, Gerald, Brian Schrader and I will be there tomorrow. Looking forward to it. Happening tomorrow as well in Apex, the 45th annual Peak Fest taking over downtown. It will be another great opportunity for music, dancing, shopping, and of course, delicious food. The event will be at the Apex Town Hall campus from 9 in the morning until 4 in the afternoon. The North Carolina Symphony bringing the hit movie Jurassic Park to life. The orchestra will be performing John Williams' iconic music from the film at Humanity Concert Hall. The show is starting tonight and they will be performing through Sunday. Tickets are still available online. For more weekend activities, just check out our website, WRAL.com, and search Out and About.
Well, a coastal low is set to bring us a good coverage of rain on Saturday. For all those people heading out and about, pack an umbrella. Meteorologist Grant Skinner joins us here in the Severe Weather Center. And Grant, just small changes in the path of that low are really important to this forecast.
Yeah, good chance for rain, cooler temperatures. Finally warmer next week, but we are watching as that coastal low moves in for possibly more precip. It's similar to a system like we see in the winter time. If it's closer to the coastline, we'll see more rain across our area. Everyone, though, will be much cooler as that system moves in. Until the low develops, though, like a tropical system, it's hard to know exactly where it will move. Models really tend to struggle with pinpointing exactly how they will kind of translate near our area over time. So I want to show you a couple of possible paths that forecast models have shown over the past few days. One is closer to the coastline. With that, rain is farther inland. We have some heavier pockets of rain as well. If the low is further south and east, then we're dealing with less rain overall and mainly lighter rain for the majority of our area. Solutions recently have tried to push it a little bit further offshore, but again, we still could see a good coverage of light rain across much of our area into tomorrow. And also, as the low moves through, we'll see cooler temperatures move in as well. So temperatures struggle to make it out of the 50s throughout the day, Elizabeth. It's going to be a cooler day tomorrow. And with that, again, we'll have to watch where that low develops. That will all determine how much rain we get, and it's just small changes in the path that can really change those totals.
Yeah, it's really frustrating for us as meteorologists, and I'm sure for you at home trying to figure out. I mean, Saturday's going to be a big day with so many events. We were just talking about that on Out and About, and the models just aren't handling the placement of that low very well, and so it's hard to say. But right now, we're trending drier. We do have a brand new run of the models, though, that kind of brings more of that rain back in, so we shall see. The best thing to know is that we do have rain no matter what. If you have outdoor plans on Saturday, it will be rainy and it will be cooler. It's just the amount of rain that we may see that's in question. Highs will be in the 50s on Saturday, and then it's in the 60s on Sunday. We have some rain in the area right now. It's been moving across parts of the Sandhills, starting to move a little bit there into Wake County. Goldsboro seeing a little bit of a light shower moving through. We take a live look at Clinton. Clinton's seen some rain, so the streets here downtown from Alfredo's restaurant are looking wet right now. 52 is our current temperature. We have a northeast northeast wind at 7, and so that's brought some of the cool air in. We're going to see this front as sort of the area where the low is likely to develop and then move up the coast. High pressure helping to push in some cooler air on the west side of that, so it stays chilly for us. We are looking at more showers on and off, especially in our southern counties as we go through the day today. It looks mostly over by about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. That version of Futurecast shows it fairly light. It's a little bit heavier than that right now. This is the latest run for Saturday. By 8 a.m., we're seeing rain across the viewing area, but by noon, we can see the back edge of it. And by 2 or 3 in the afternoon, most of it is over. So the timeline, the duration is going to be a little bit shorter. And if that low tracks a little farther offshore, you can see that. Not a lot of rain to the west side of Raleigh, but definitely more of it closer to the coast. And that is what we're most concerned about. This is a look at one of the rainfall models, and it just doesn't show a whole lot of rain for our viewing area. We'll keep our fingers crossed. So Saturday, expect some rain and cool temperatures. Sunday will be cool, but at least you'll have a better, it'll be more comfortable to be outside. After that, we have another round of some showers and thunderstorms in our forecast for Wednesday and Thursday, Ken.
Elizabeth, happening now. So I want to update you on that situation in Orange County. I wanted to let you know that it's completely clear. I-85 is clear, but now we're seeing a little bit of jam session on Highway 70. Likely those are folks who are trying to avoid I-85. So just know that I-85 is completely cleared. This is indicative of what we're seeing on all of our major routes. I-40 Lake Wheeler Road, the westbound lanes moving away from us. Very little to no delays whatsoever on I-40, and all of our major routes completely delay-free. So wherever you're headed on our major routes this morning, you'll get there on time. More news, weather, and traffic after the break.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
Good morning. The time is 8:26. I'm Laura Levine. Here's meteorologist Elizabeth Gartner tracking a few showers there on the radar.
It's been in our southern and especially southwestern counties. All of this is going to be traveling eastward. It's fairly scattered and mostly light, but I've seen some camera views where it looks like it's coming down pretty steadily there in parts of the Sandhills. So if you're down there, say from Sanford through Southern Pines or Rayford, even up to say Raleigh, Coates, Dunn, Pittsboro, you may see a shower here in the next hour. We're going to keep that chance and really all the way up until mid to late afternoon. This is a live look at Southern Pines. It was raining there just a few minutes ago. I still see a few sprinkles out there, even though there are still some golfers golfing. Our temperatures are mainly upper 40s to low 50s heading out the door, and it's a nice cool day for a run with highs in the upper 60s. Ken?
Elizabeth, golfers are all about it, rain or shine. Hey, let's check this southern loop of the Beltline, I-40 Lake Wheeler Road. These are the westbound lanes moving away from us. At this time of the morning, no jam session. It's rolling along nicely. No delays whatsoever on that southern loop of the Beltline. Of course, you're coming in from Garner, Johnston County. That's delay-free as well. And through Wade Avenue, I don't have anything to worry about. I have another update at the bottom of the hour in your morning commute.
Happening today, educators from across the state will gather and rally for higher pay in downtown Raleigh. The North Carolina Association of Educators is holding a march this morning. A recent report ranks the state 43rd in the average teacher pay and 38th in starting teacher pay. The event begins at 10 a.m. at Halifax Mall. Part of a Moore County road was shut down overnight because of a train that hit and killed someone. It happened in Pinehurst at NC Highway 5 near Morganton Road last night. We have more news just ahead on Fox 50.
Clouding up today, but tomorrow we have widespread rain in the forecast. We're trending a little drier for Saturday, but it'll still affect your weekend plans. I'll show you the timing.
Marching on Raleigh, teachers from across the state will be at the Capitol today calling for change. We have team coverage of this morning's preparation for the rally. Bus destroyed. 6 students and the driver hurt when a school bus hits a low bridge. An update this morning on their conditions after this very scary crash.
We have a lot of news to get to here on your Friday morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Laura Levine alongside Ken Smith on this Friday. Let's get right over to meteorologist Elizabeth Garner tracking some showers on the radar. Elizabeth.
So we have these light showers that have developed. We have a boundary that's down to the south, just south of the Triangle area in these counties. And that's where we've had some rain developing over the last several hours. We're seeing some showers in Sanford all the way down through Hoke County. That's sliding eastward. Just started to notice a little bit of rain showing up on the camera there in Cary, even though that's just such a tiny little cell. And then in Goldsboro, a few light showers. This is likely to continue, especially from Durham southward for the next several hours, maybe even through the middle of the afternoon. And then we jump ahead to Saturday, and we're still looking at mainly a fairly long-term rain, with most of us seeing it. But what we are seeing is that the low that's going to bring us all this rain is trending a little closer to the coast, which means more of this rain may be light for us. So we have some updated rainfall totals for Saturday to share with you. The rain's falling in Clinton right now as we take a look from Alfredo's restaurant, 52 degrees in the Triangle. So it's a cool and sort of damp and gray start for a lot of us this morning. Our temperatures are mainly in the low to mid 50s and will only climb into the upper 60s this afternoon. Coming up, we'll talk more about that potential for rain Saturday. Ken?
Well, Elizabeth, happening now, boy, things are looking really good in all of our major routes as we start with I-40 Lake Wheeler Road. These are the westbound lanes moving away from us this morning. And I want to point out the eastbound lanes, too, because many of you use I-40 eastbound to get down to the beach. Might be a great opportunity to head on the road right now because we're not seeing any delays in either direction there on I-40 in that southern loop of the Beltline. And anywhere up and down I-40 westbound, particularly, we're not seeing any delays whatsoever. Similarly, on that northern loop of the Beltline, traffic is flowing at a nice steady clip in both directions as we look live at I-440 and New Bern Avenue. These are the westbound lanes moving away from us this morning as we widen out the view, give you a look at the entire stretch of that northern loop of the Beltline from the I-440 87 interchange all the way over to Wade Avenue, completely delay-free. And that's really what we're seeing in all of our major routes this morning, relatively delay-free. You're looking at a 3-minute delay, only a 3-minute delay coming in from Wake Forest, just a 1-minute delay coming in from Knightdale on I-87 and all the other major routes. US 1 North, I-40 eastbound, delay-free at this hour. You're getting ready to head into the car, though. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Ken, thank you. Today, teachers from across North Carolina are on their way to Raleigh. They'll gather at Halifax Mall near the state legislative building in a call for better pay. They will also march around the state capitol. You're looking at video of the last time we saw a statewide rally like this in Raleigh. That was back in 2019. Several school districts across our area are closing schools today ahead of the expected turnout for the rally. We're talking about Wake, Durham, and Cumberland counties now among the major districts that will not have in-person classes today. Wake County year-round schools will be remote. So, of course, we have team coverage now ahead of today's rally. Let's begin with WRAL's Kirsten Clark with a look at what we can expect to hear from educators as she's outside there and people already gathering. Kirsten.
Yes, Laura, we're here at Halifax Mall, and as you just mentioned, the North Carolina Association of Educators, they began setting up well into the morning here, especially early this morning, and now we're seeing people, educators, their families finally filing in here. I'm going to move out of the way so you can get a closer look. You can see a large group there gathered, many of them wearing those neon green shirts, some of them wearing red, and we're already hearing them chant in preparation for today's march and rally. We're expecting more people to fill in later this morning to voice their concerns and to hear from speakers, all with one message: put kids first. A report from the National Education Association ranks North Carolina 43rd in average teacher pay and 38th in starting teacher pay. Without a raise, teacher pay is projected to fall to 46th this year. The NCAE said the rally will advocate for increased funding for public schools, accountability for voucher spending, and an end to policies prioritizing tax cuts over students. This rally comes just weeks after the state Supreme Court threw out the multi-billion-dollar Leandro plan designed to improve public schools. And I asked NCAE Vice President Brian Proffitt, when it comes to teacher pay, how much is enough?
Minimally, it looks like a 20% raise from where we are right now. We need to be paid enough to take care of our families and not be stressed out all the time. And we need to be able to show up rested, healthy, not stressed out, and prepared to give our kids the best every day.
Yeah, so on the other side of this, and in response to this rally, a spokesperson for Republican House Speaker Destin Hall noted the House's proposed budget includes significant raises in teacher pay. So we, of course, will be here throughout the morning, keeping you updated as this all unfolds. Live in Raleigh, Kirsten Clark, WRAL News.
So listen, around noon today, the group of educators will begin their march around downtown Raleigh. That route will take them from Halifax Mall down Wilmington Street, then around the Capitol Building, and then back up Salisbury Street. Let's bring in WRAL's Kelsey Coffey. She's live along that march in downtown Raleigh right now. And you spoke to a teacher, Kelsey. He's still struggling to make ends meet.
Yes, Ken, I did. And we have seen a few teachers who will be participating in today's rally walking downtown here. But just in a couple of hours, we're expecting to see even more people marching down the street here in downtown Raleigh, calling for changes to their pay. We spoke with a Johnson County teacher who says he feels undervalued. North Carolina does not offer master's pay for teachers who earn their degrees after 2013. Republican leaders got rid of the pay bump, saying master's degrees don't improve student outcomes. Since then, House leadership has proposed bringing it back for teachers whose master's degrees are in the subject they teach. Stetson Glass is a 10th grade English teacher with a master's degree, raising 6 kids at home. He says as the cost of living continues to rise, it's becoming more difficult to pay the bills.
We still have to really focus on a budget, which I'm sure all families do, but we have to strain and think hard and critically about how we're going to allot certain finances because, what we planned on and what's actually happening are not the same result.
And that's why Glass plans to attend today's rally and march later this morning. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
Of course, our team of reporters will be in downtown Raleigh throughout the day following the march and the rally. You can check for updates on air on WRAL.com and through the WRAL News app.
This morning, all of the children who were hurt in this Goldsboro school bus crash are back at home. 6 students were treated for injuries after the crash, and late last night we learned they were released from the hospital. The bus driver was airlifted to a hospital as well. We're working to get an update on their condition. 9 students from Dillard Academy were on the bus when it crashed as it was trying to go under a bridge at Carolina and Vine Streets. Neighbors say the crash was loud, and what they saw afterward was even worse.
It was very devastating, though, to see the scene. It was so horrible. They were in a single file line in the field, and one of the children sustained an injury to a laceration to his forehead.
The bus crashed trying to go under a bridge at North Carolina and West Vine Streets again. Signs near that bridge warn that it's only 7 feet 6 inches tall. That's lower than the bottom of the net on a basketball court.
A good perspective there. Well, new this morning, the date and time for Game 1 of the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs at Lenovo Center, all set. The Canes will play the Philadelphia Flyers tomorrow night at 8. There will be a pregame party in the plaza starting at 5, and that's always a good time. Game 2 will also be at Lenovo Center. Now, the date and time for that game and the full schedule for the series, we're still waiting for the NHL to release that information.
Today is the last day for Patrice Andrews as Durham's police chief. She's been the chief for about 5 years there and has served in law enforcement for 25 years. The search for a new chief is ongoing. Deputy Chief Walter Tate will lead the department in the interim.
Well, local law enforcement is reminding gun owners to store firearms properly. It comes after parents were charged this week in several incidents where their child was found with a gun on school property. One incident happened in Fayetteville, the other in Nash County. No one was hurt in both cases, though the student's mother was charged with improper firearms storage.
At the same time, I think it's important for people to understand there are real-world consequences that are associated with not doing that. And so I think the prosecutorial methods need to be there in those cases that are extreme cases or cases just to try to get parents' attention that, hey, you do have this responsibility in your home.
Last year, the State Department of Justice launched the NC Safe for Schools. It's a resource program promoting safe gun storage. Well, new security video, we are getting a closer look at what happened during last weekend's attempted presidential assassination. The new details from federal authorities.
Plus, voting map fallout, changes to election maps across the country, the places where President Trump is encouraging further redistricting. Elizabeth?
And I'm tracking some showers, mainly from Raleigh southward. We're seeing these isolated showers out there this morning. I'll show you how long they'll last and if they'll affect you this morning. Coming up. It's 8:43, and I'm tracking these showers from the Triangle area southward. They are producing some pockets of some brief heavy rain out there. We're going to see these scattered showers along a boundary that continues all the way up until probably the middle of the afternoon. I don't think we're going to end up seeing a whole lot in the rain gauges out of this because it's very scattered in nature, but we had some showers just move through Southern Pines, some rain in Rayford, up around Sanford, moving over toward Coates and Dunn. We've even seen some rain falling, matter of fact, falling right now in Cary. 20% chance of showers across our area on through the afternoon. And we take a look at Wake County, and you can see what looks like grayer sky right there. That's actually rain that's falling in the southern part of Wake County right now. 52 in Raleigh, 53 in Wilson, 53 Rocky Mount. It's chilly out there. If you are out with your kids at practices this afternoon, temperatures will be in the upper 60s. We should stay fairly dry through the afternoon, but again, still a good chance for rain on Saturday. Ken?
All right, Elizabeth, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. You can see the dark green showing up where the wet road conditions are happening there in southern Wake County. We're also picking up a bit of a slowdown on McDowell Street near the convention center because of the convention center improvements. Let's get to WRAL's Ali Catalabarshi and Michael Jonah just showed up there. So, Ali, what are you seeing right now?
Well, we're seeing that 2 lanes are blocked on McDowell Street. 1 lane of traffic is getting through, but we are seeing the reason for that are these new HVAC units are set up. Now, one of them looks like it was the temporary one that they took down. The other 2 down there appear to be the new ones that they're working to put up on the roof, and you can even see that large crane set up as well. Now, this comes about 5 months after there was a fire on the roof of the convention center. It damaged the HVAC system and also damaged some other parts of the kitchen as well. So this has been a months-long process to get it all repaired and replaced. Luckily, events are going as normal, and of course, Ken, it is causing a little bit of congestion here if you're headed this way, but we're working to find out when this will all be cleared up.
And really and truly, Ali, for those folks heading into the downtown area, there's several options that you can use right now. You've got Fayetteville Street, you got South Wilmington Street, you got Hammond Road. Of course, you got Garner Road to avoid McDowell Street right now because that's going to be going on for the bulk of the day. So just keep that in mind as you head out the door this morning. But really and truly, it's been a really quiet start to a morning commute everywhere you go. Right now, you're just looking at a 4-minute delay coming in out of Wake Forest. That's unheard of this time of the morning coming in from Wake Forest. All the other routes are delay-free. I-87, I-40 eastbound, I-40 westbound. You don't have anything to worry about. You're getting ready to head into the car. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Okay, Ken, thank you. This morning, we are getting a clearer view of surveillance video here from the weekend shooting that happened at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. We now have that clearer picture here of the shooting suspect rushing through security. Officials say the footage also captures the suspect, Cole Allen, inside the hotel the day before the event. Federal prosecutors allege the shooting was part of an attempted assassination targeting the president. Allen now faces multiple federal charges.
New fallout from this week's U.S. Supreme Court ruling on Louisiana's congressional maps. The governor of Louisiana expected to delay some of the state's primaries after the high court rejected its current map. Early voting was set to begin this weekend. The court ruled the maps were illegally gerrymandered since they created majority black districts. Other states may also be considering action after the Supreme Court ruling. President Trump is calling on Tennessee to redraw its map to eliminate a Democratic district. In a Truth Social post, the president says he's spoken with the state's governor about working to create a new map.
Companies are getting tariff refunds. 2 package carriers say that they'll be returning that money to customers. Both FedEx and UPS say they will be returning any wrongly charged tariff fees. Thousands of companies have now filed claims to collect the tariff changes and charges. The tariff refund system went live last week. UPS says it collected about $5 billion in tariffs from customers.
Banksy confirming he's behind a large statue that mysteriously appeared in the heart of London. Take a look at your screen right now. It depicts a man marching off a pedestal with a flag somewhat draped over his face. It seems to be commentary on the idea of blind patriotism. The statue's been drawing crowds since it popped up early Wednesday morning. The artist took credit for the work in a humorous video posted to his Instagram page. With all the traction and attraction it's getting, London authorities had to put up barriers around that statue.
Pop star Britney Spears is officially charged with driving under the influence. This comes after she was arrested in Southern California last month. The Ventura County District Attorney did not specify what Spears was alleged to be under the influence of. After her arrest, a representative for Spears said, hopefully this can be the first step in long overdue change that needs to occur in Britney's life. Spears has since checked herself into a treatment facility. A court hearing is set for Monday. Spears was relinquished from a 13-year court-ordered conservatorship in 2021.
Disney is celebrating National Deaf History Month with the release of 3 songs in American Sign Language. Let's have a look at what's trending.
Tracks from Frozen 2, Encanto, and Moana 2 released on Disney Plus this week. Deaf History Month wrapped up yesterday. Creators say the goal is to break down barriers and better connect with deaf audiences. What a beautiful thing to see. All about inclusivity. And J-Lo's new movie and Olivia Rodrigo's upcoming tour. David Daniel has details for both in today's Hollywood Minute.
Olivia Rodrigo shouldn't be bored for long. The Grammy-winning singer-songwriter has announced a 65-date concert tour launching September 25th in Hartford, Connecticut, and spanning North America and Europe. The Unraveled tour is in support of her 3rd studio album, You Seem Pretty Sad for a Girl So in Love. Concert tickets go on sale May 7th, and the album drops June 12th.
Do you believe in magic?
Honestly, since I first walked into your office, I believe in everything.
No fooling around at the office.
Never at the office.
If we got caught, it could destroy everything I've built.
CEO Jennifer Lopez and lawyer Brett Goldstein risk it all in Office Romance. Can this workplace relationship flourish, especially when both people are workaholics? Netflix just released the first trailer for the rom-com, which debuts on the streamer June 5th. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
All right, we're here at the WRAL Weather Center with meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner, and boy, we're seeing rain in the triangle.
We are, yeah. So
love it.
We're also seeing the potential for a slightly drier day Saturday. I think we'll still see wide coverage of rain, but it's just the amounts might be a little lower. So we're seeing some sprinkles, showers currently, and it still looks chilly for us on Saturday. Let's take a look at what's going on out there right now. We have these scattered showers that have popped up in our southern counties, and that's likely to be with us potentially all the way through the middle of the afternoon. Most of it's going to be from Durham or Raleigh southward. There's just a boundary down here that is going to continue to facilitate these showers developing. And in some places, it may briefly come down pretty steadily, but for the most part, it's going to be fairly light. We're going to jump on ahead to tomorrow. This is a look at tomorrow. By 8 o'clock, we're seeing widespread rain. The forecast for tomorrow, even though it's only 24 hours out, is complicated and a little frustrating. The low pressure system that's going to bring us this rain hasn't fully developed yet, so the models just don't really have a good handle on exactly where that low is going to be and exactly how much rain we're going to see. We keep seeing the flip-flopping back and forth. But what I can tell you with some certainty is it does look like we'll have rain across the entire viewing area. And the farther north and west you go, the less of it will fall, and then more of it will be south and east of the triangle. So we'll walk through futurecasts. There's noon. By 3 o'clock in the afternoon, it looks like on this run that it's starting to taper off. So maybe a shorter duration of rain, but that it should reach all the way north across our counties. And this will have a big effect on your plans on Saturday if you have daytime plans. So this is a look at a potential position of the low at 10 a.m. on Saturday morning. And notice most of that rain is from Raleigh eastward, and it's very light north and west of that. Well, if it backs in a little farther than that, then we'll see more rain. And if it ends up wobbling a little bit farther to the east, it's going to make a big difference in how much rain we see. We tend to see this in the wintertime with coastal lows, and it affects how much snow we might get. Typically, people this time of year don't care as much about how much rain we get, but we do now because we need so much of it. So this is a look at possibility of some rain. Very little in the north, 1/4 to 1/2 inch in the triangle, and maybe a little more than 1/2 inch down to the south. So we'll keep watching it, obviously. Chilly, 58, and then back to some sunshine on Sunday.
All right, before we go to break here, let's take a look at those winning lottery numbers. We'll get another check on weather and traffic coming up next.